Millions of women working hard every day, not knowing that they are living in a country with an 80.5% yearly wage gap. The gender pay gap has been happening for centuries now, and women are finally starting to fight back. Studies have shown women make 79 cents for every dollar paid to white, non-Hispanic men. For women of color, the gap is even bigger. Women of color make 67 cents, and Hispanic women make 52 cents for every dollar paid to men. This is an issue that's been happening for decades now, and we need to bring attention to it.
There are currently 157 million Americans in the workforce, 58% of which are women. In 2018, women made 82% of what men made. However, the pay gap has been greatly decreased since women have started to work.
Then, on June 10, 1963, President John F. Kennedy signed the Equal Pay Act. This act required that men and women are to be paid the same for the same work in the same establishment. This act decreased the wage gap tremendously, from women earning 59 cents for every dollar a man made in the 1960s to 79 cents in 2011. A new law recently passed in Iceland states that companies with 25 employees or more must confirm that they are paying men and women equally. If not certified, a daily fine will add up.
Although some states such as Wyoming, Louisiana, and West Virginia still have an outrageous wage gap, with women making 70% of what a man would make.
There were many more acts and laws passed to help decrease the wage gap, but women are still earning less than men. Some experts share their opinion on the topic.
Overall, if you compare women who work full-time year-round and men who work full-time year-round in the U.S., women are paid about 80 cents for every dollar paid to men.
My opinion on the gender wage gap is that it shouldn't exist. There is no reason why a woman should get paid less than a man for doing the exact same task. There's no real reason why anyone should get paid less than anyone based on gender, race, ability versus disability. If you do the job to the level that's required, you should get paid the same amount of money.
Men started working and getting educated earlier than women did. They've had a longer time to really grow their careers and grow their income.
Definitely when I started my career back in 1995, there was definitely a difference between what male employees and female employees got paid for doing the same work.
It's really now, it's up to companies. It's companies' responsibility to be transparent about what they're paying men and women, so letting people know what everybody else is making so that women know that they're making less than men.
And you know what? That's legal. If you find out you're not being paid the same for doing the same job, you can be fired.
I think a lot of times, honestly, because in my case, I had to come out of the workforce because I had children. And so I think that a lot of women lose those years of working, and somehow they feel like we need to all of a sudden start over, even though we still have the same qualifications and everything.
These kind of things, it takes a long time to catch up because women are now just as educated, if not more than men, but it takes a long time for these kind of trends to really fully change.
Yes, definitely makes it worse because, like I said, we lose those years of where we can become experienced in our field.
I guess it exists primarily going back many, many years to a time when the country as a whole was more segregated, whether it be by race or sex or other discriminations. And in what was predominantly male-driven industries, the change to having a mixed sex workforce is just taking time to catch up.
Women started working in the workforce in sizable numbers in the 1960s. It was about 60% of what men made. And then over the next couple decades, we narrowed it fairly significantly. But it's actually been at or around 80% since about the late 1990s.
Even though this is commonly perceived as a fight between women and men, not all men agree with this way of thinking. More men have realized that the wage gap is a real thing and that women are facing pay discrimination. Some men stand with us on this issue and want to help fight and eventually demolish this problem. However, 46% of men think that the wage gap is made up to serve as a political purpose. Many think that the wage gap is being dramatized and others think that it's fake news. Overall, the wage gap has been decreased by a great amount since women have joined the workforce. We have really raised the bar for women.